A huge police response. Residents in the small town of Green Cove Springs on edge for much of the day as SWAT deputies searched frantically trying to find a man who murdered his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, and her father. Domestic violence so difficult to comprehend for those who knew the victims.
It was just like a regular day. She was all smiling and everything, and then I guess once they went inside and he came, I guess everything changed.
A lot of different emotions. I'm pretty upset, really, really mad, you know. I really don't even know how to describe what I'm feeling right now.
The killer, the nephew of a former Clay County sheriff, part of a well-known local family. A former co-worker says his thoughts are with those who are now left behind.
I'm just praying for the kids and the kids of the victims and the family. Just hope. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, but hope they can get through it.
Green Cove Springs, the county seat for Clay County government, rocked by a deadly triple shooting.
The killer, who police say is the nephew of former Sheriff Scott Lancaster, is also dead, and investigators say he turned the gun on himself. We've been following this deadly domestic violence drama for you since the news first broke this morning, and we first told you about it with a News4 Jax push alert on your mobile device just after 10 o'clock. Deputies say Murray Lancaster first killed his ex-girlfriend, Valorie Short, and her father, Wellen Short. He then killed his ex-wife, Erica Green.
We have several crews gathering details now. Again, we begin with Channel 4's Ethan Calloway, who's learning more about the victims in this tragedy. Ethan?
Well, Tom, the crime scene tape has been cleared here around the salon where it was closed off for hours today. Take a look. You can see where this all started today. We have been speaking with employees here at the Keeping It Classy Hair and Nail Salon throughout the day today. One of those employees, Shelly Danforth, explains sort of how all of this went down today. She described Valorie as a sweet, kind woman and an incredible mother to her two boys. She says Valorie came into work today and said Murray Lancaster had come to her home this morning and tried to block her in, not letting her leave. She was able to run him off, in her words, and went to work without calling police today. She says Valorie came in, told coworkers what happened, and then he walked into the salon, walking over to her and telling her to come with him. She refused, and that is when she says he told Valorie he had a gun in his pocket. She agreed to walk outside with him at that point, and that's when she says they began arguing at the door, which she objected with, saying that wasn't professional. They couldn't do that at the door. So that is when she says Lancaster pulled the gun out, pointing it at her and at Valorie, saying, "We're going to find your daddy and settle this." Shelly said Murray wrote her yesterday and was trying to track down where Valerie's dad, Buddy, worked, and told her yesterday, "Never mind, I got what I needed." Those are the words she says he used. He then took her at gunpoint to where her dad was working in a construction zone off of Magnolia West, shooting him. Of course, Buddy Short lost his life today. Erica Green, the ex-wife of the suspect, also lost her life, leaving behind two young boys, two children of her own and a fiance. We will, of course, continue to follow this story throughout the evening and bring you any developing updates as they become available. For now, we're live in Green Cove Springs. Ethan Calloway, Channel 4, the local station.
And as we said, the shooter is dead, but the investigation into what happened will go on. Law enforcement officials were at numerous scenes this afternoon to investigate the shooting. Channel 4's Chris Parenta spoke with the Green Cove Springs Police Department and is joining us now live with more. Chris.
Within the last 30 minutes, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement has made it back here to this area where Lancaster took his own life earlier this afternoon. The FDLE is now going to be the lead agency on this entire case. They investigated the two scenes earlier today. The first one off of County Road 315 and Medina Lane, where Valorie Short and her father, Buddy Short, were shot and killed. And then at the Rosemary Hill Road landfill, where Erica Green was also killed. FDLE was on that investigation as well. So once they found Murray Lancaster here, dead inside of a camper, they called FDLE for them to come back up here and continue that part of the investigation, just for sort of a continuity purpose of this investigation. But it took a little while for FDLE to get back up here because they had actually been down in Putnam County investigating a shooting that happened down there. Throughout the day, I spoke with a lot of people who know all four of the people that were involved in this, and they say that they're shocked something like this happened.
Disappointed. Like I said earlier, he was a good guy. We used to go fishing, hang out, play football. don't understand what got him to the point where I guess his life was falling apart, and he didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know. It's just disappointing. Why? You have kids with no mom and no dad now, so it's a tragedy. The community will come together and try to help out. We're a tight-knit community, so it'll all work out.
SWAT officers surrounded this home around 11 o'clock this morning trying to make contact with Murray Lancaster. Police tell us that Lancaster actually tried to go to his children's school, Charles E. Bennett Elementary School, before coming back here to the camper. News4Jack's crime and safety analyst Gil Smith was out here with me through most of the day, saying that despite the possibility that Lancaster might have killed himself before officers even arrived, they still had to make sure to go through the process that they're trained on just in case he had been inside of that camper still alive and waiting on them with weapons. Investigators tell me they will be out here through most of the night with this investigation, collecting all of the evidence that they need, hoping that maybe there will be some clues as to why this happened. I'm also told that tomorrow at Charles E. Bennett Elementary School, grief counselors will be on hand for any students that need it. The Green Cove Springs Police Department tells me that's where all 4 children of the victims in this case went to school. Live in Green Cove Springs, I'm Chris Parento, Channel 4, the local station.
Many parents worried about their children today when 4 schools in Green Cove were put on lockdown as a precaution. R.C. Bannerman Learning Center, Charles Bennett Elementary, Clay High, and Green Cove Springs Junior High were all locked down. Lancaster was known by many parents at Charles Bennett Elementary. That's where Channel 4's Jim Piggott spoke with some of them. He's joining us live from the school. Jim.
You know, the parents, a lot of them stood outside here today, many from the beginning of this ordeal till the very end, just wanting to make sure that their kids were okay. One of those parents I spoke to was Johnny Gantra, and what he was telling me, that he knew Lancaster, and he also knew the Lancaster's ex-wife, and he was very concerned about what was happening here because they both had children at these schools. And apparently, police and officials, they had the people stay away from the schools for hours at a time. And then once the all clear was given, once they found Lancaster's body, they were allowed to return. The kids were released from the school, but they were delayed for about even 45 minutes after that because of the delay all around the county. Buses were late, but now things are back to normal. Again, as Chris Parental had mentioned, there will be grief counselors here at the school tomorrow, plus there will be an early faculty meeting with the staff as they were thanked for all of their help. We are live in Green Cove Springs. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
Now, we're also hearing from former co-workers of Murray Lancaster. One of them tells us he was aware that Lancaster was having family issues.
Channel 4's Scott Johnson is joining us now live with more from that co-worker. Scott?
Shocked, just like everyone else. And Tom, behind me is where the murder happened of Lancaster's girlfriend and her dad. Someone just laid those small yellow flowers there at the site in the last few minutes. I'm expecting we'll probably see more over the next day or so. And this is where Valorie Short and her father, Buddy Short, were murdered. We've talked to people who knew them as a couple, and they say there were problems. Now we're hearing from a person who worked closely with just Lancaster. He says he knew Murray Lancaster was having issues, which was apparent after he was charged with battery against his girlfriend. In fact, today, he and his girlfriend had a court hearing concerning an injunction filed against him.
Yes, he did.
What did you know about him?
I just knew he had a lot of issues going on with his ex-wife, and then recently his girlfriend and her dad. And to see what he done and to hear what he's done, you know, that was just horrible. I'm just praying for the kids and the kids of the victims and the family. Just hope. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, but hope they can get through it.
Now, despite those sentiments, Dasher there, the man says that Murray Lancaster was a hard worker and appeared normal despite these problems. He never expected this. We're live in Green Cove Springs. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
Now we want to recap for you what we know at this point. Clay County deputies confirm 4 people, including a gunman, are dead in a triple murder-suicide. Murray Lancaster kidnapped his ex-girlfriend, Valorie Short, from the salon where she worked, drove her to a road near the Magnolia Point Country Club and lured her father there and then shot both of them. Deputies say he then drove to the Rosemary Hill Road landfill where he shot and killed Erica Green Lancaster, an ex-wife. They say he tried to reach his children at their school but could not. A short time later, he took his own life. He was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in an RV on his family's property.
Our coverage of the investigation continues. We'll be right back.